23 minutes past the hour here in the Imus Morning Program on the radio all over the country. And on October 5, live from the Fox Studios, simulcast on the Fox Business Network. Mark Levin, his book, Liberty and Tyranny, just sold over 1 million copies. One of the most popular talk show hosts in the country, and probably second or third most listened to, dubbed a great one by Sean Hannity, live from the bunker. Please welcome to the Imus Morning Program the aforementioned Mark Levin. Good morning, Mr. Levin.
How are you, brother? Am I allowed to say that?
Brother?
Yes. Is that okay? I mean, you got a conga line of racists coming on this. I mean, race baiters, I guess I have to say. So now the White House puts out video and photos of Obama playing basketball. Remember that three-pointer he shot?
Yes.
And he sunk it. Did I put out that video? No. Do I put out the pictures? I have never said that Obama's too busy playing hoops to do the nation's business. I've said a lot, but I haven't said that. Yeah. But even if I had said that, this guy, what's his name?
Carl Jeffers.
Who the hell is he? I don't know who the hell Carl Jeffers is. And I wouldn't know who he is. Never heard the name before if you hadn't had him on.
Yeah.
He makes stars of these lightweights, by the way. Carl Jeffers.
That's my job.
Yeah, so we're all naturally racist, if I heard that correctly.
Well,
I only heard a little bit of it. It's just instinctive. We can't help it. So
I have been a victim of the exact same thing regarding, by the way, of an outstanding journalist and a very nice lady, Gwen Eiffel. For years, everybody said I said things about her that I didn't say. They can't produce a transcript. They can't produce it. They can't do anything. So,
and besides, Obama plays golf all day, as I can see.
Yeah, so
plays golf all the time.
So Carl thinks he heard something that he did not hear. I mean, I like Carl.
Who cares about Carl? He's a schmuck.
I like him. But he makes stuff.
Hey, Carl, I know you're listening. You're a schmuck. Write that for the Huffington Post. And as a matter of fact, the Washington Compost had a big story yesterday explaining how these dirtballs do what they do. The White House plays happy smiley face over there with Axelrod and Al Capone. What's his name? Rahm Emanuel.
Yes.
And so they play that, but behind the scenes, they're leaking to the Huffington Post. And to their usual hacks in the media and all the rest. Bring up racism. Bring up this. Go after Levin's this and Limbaugh's that. And, of course, Hannity, the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He's a racist, too. Come on. Let's shut these guys down. We're not going to be intimidated by these tactics. It's not going to work.
I was talking to somebody yesterday at the golf tournament, an enormously liberal friend of mine, who did say, we all got to start playing by the same rule book. And we're not now, of course. I mean, imagine if Beyonce had won the video award and Hank Jr. or my friend John Rich was sitting in the audience and they leaped up on the stage, grabbed them, I mean, there would have been a riot. And I'm not suggesting that we all should be allowed to engage in boorish and idiotic behavior, but we ought to be able to talk about it without being, as you're more eloquently pointing out, without being characterized as a racist. I understand that people show up at these rallies with these repulsive, vile signs, but there's a knucklehead in every crowd. So.
We have repulsive, vile people in the United States Congress who say stupid things, as a matter of fact. Look, what this is a massive diversion by the president and his lapdogs who do not want to discuss 16.8% unemployment, who do not want to discuss record foreclosure rates on homes, who do not want to discuss the most outrageous, irresponsible deficit spending in human history. They don't want to discuss that he just capitulated to the Russians and is now going to pull the defense shield out of Poland and Czechoslovakia. They don't want to discuss that Osama bin Laden and Chavez and Castro are three of the foreign nut jobs who are out there endorsing this guy. They don't want to discuss Acorn. They don't want to discuss any of this. Instead, they want to conjure up, Selma, Alabama. That now, if you criticize a president who is black, and by the way, he's black and white, and I know this for a fact, Imus, because I live in Virginia, and all I saw were commercials paid for by Obama and his campaign reminding us of his white grandmother. I didn't know he was black. It was his white grandmother, white grandmother, white grandmother. So Obama plays this game. His hacks like Carl Jeffers play this game, and his cretin little nobodies like Michael Lupica, he plays the game too. But I'll have none of it.
I can't allow you to be attacking my friends there, Michael.
Well, get new friends. Try the New York Post.
We're talking with Mark Levin here on the Imus in the Morning program. Jimmy Carter.
Exactly. There's another putz. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, who brought in the Iranian Nazi regime, which is trying now to get nukes. Jimmy Carter, who claimed to be for human rights, look what he did. He helped initiate this fundamentalism and this terrorism that we're having to deal with today. He drove the economy into the toilet and spread misery wide and far. Now he's coming in and jumping. That guy's an ambulance chaser. He's an old guy. Go ahead.
Could be the worst president ever.
I think we're experiencing that now. But maybe the second worst president ever.
Talking with Mark Levin here in the Imus program. His book just sold over 1 million copies. And your view of it not being reviewed by the New York Times is what?
I could give a damn. Think about this. Do you think I get a good review out of the New York Slimes? No. Do you think I get a good review out of the Washington Compost? No. Look at the idiots that they hire over there. Your buddy Frank Rich. Now there's a no talent. Look at the other idiot. Hold on now. Look at the other idiot they hire over there. The one that dresses like a hooker. What's her name? Maureen Dowd. Her. My God.
First of all, she is a hooker.
Is she?
No, but this is outrageous. Just bludgeoning my friends. So. But it's amusing to us. So.
Now, you know what it is? You poke my cage too many times and I respond.
It did nothing to you.
Not you, your friends.
No, you know what I'm saying. Do you like it when Lupica, speaking of your friend, and well, you haven't heard Lupica's impression.
First of all, it's Lupica. And secondly, I never listen to the guy. Nobody else does. He's one of these Keith Olbermann types, one of these former...
no, he's not. No, he's better.
One of these former baseball sports writer types who they handed, hey, you want to write about politics?
His impression of you, though, he and Lou Ruffino had a Mark Levin off at the golf tournament yesterday.
Well, you know what? Isn't it funny how the libs are obsessed with me? They hate me, but they can't stop listening to me. They're like stalkers. By the way, I have a mental image of this Lupica. What's he, about 5'2"?
No, he's a normal. With
albino skin?
He's a normal-sized person. So.
What does normal size mean? About 180 pounds, 5'2"?
No, he's a hobbit.
Exactly.
Hair on his feet and stuff. So, Glenn Beck's on the cover of Time magazine. See the new voice of
I don't read Time magazine.
Okay, well.
I don't read Newsweek magazine. Glenn Beck's on the cover?
Yeah.
What for?
Well, what's the tagline, Bernie? Madman. Mm-hmm. And then there are those who are suggesting that he has surpassed Rush Limbaugh, and perhaps you, perhaps even Hannity. As the new. Well, I'm just reporting.
You really like causing trouble, don't you?
No, I don't. But
all right, look, let me be blunt about this. I said this on my show last night. Comparing Rush Limbaugh to Glenn Beck is like comparing George Washington to George Jefferson. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Now you're going to get in trouble again.
Well, I'm saying one's a comedy guy and a skit guy, and one has led the conservative fight for 25 years, who's taken all kinds of crap, who prosecutors have gone over. Look, I'm going to tell you something. Pure news talk radio wouldn't exist. But for guys like you and Bob Grant and Rush Limbaugh, it just wouldn't exist.
Well, Howard Stern, you have to give him his props too.
Stern, but I said pure news talk radio.
All right.
Now, and I do give Stern his props, as a matter of fact. But having said that, guys like me, we stand on his shoulders, and I stand on Hannity's shoulders, and all the rest. So when people, forget about Beck for a second, when reporters and so forth are trying to rip down Rush, they're trying to rip down all of us. I know what they're doing. I know the game that they're playing. And the fact of the matter is, there's only one Rush. There will only be one Rush. And then there's, from a pure talk radio perspective, there's the rest of us.
You know Rush?
He's one of my best friends.
Really? Well, I'm just kind of curious.
You're almost there.
I just
You're
wondered.
almost one of my best friends. I've never met you, but I'm...
Yes, you have. Of course you have.
Oh, I met you that time. I'm sorry. That's right.
One time you deigned to leave the bunker.
What was it, 30 seconds? Hey, how are you? It's an honor to meet you, I think I said.
Do you think he has... I mean, I'm not trying to cause trouble here, but, I do have... I broke everything in my body getting bucked off of horses and stuff. I just wonder if he has any of those, pain pills left. Like to
why are you trying to push some?
No, I'd like to get some.
Are you a dealer? I mean,
I have two guys in here, two heroes of 9/11. This is real. I'm not proud of this.
No, by the way.
But I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, as you know.
Seems like everybody I talk to is. I watch on TV. I'm a recovering this. I'm a recovering that. I don't recover. You know what? I never did drugs, for God's sakes. I'm not recovering from anything. Go right ahead.
I was trying to score Vicodin off of one of the heroes of 9/11. It's just hideous. So, what can you say? You and Hannity I've become friends with him, and my wife loves him.
Yes.
That's a curious relationship. It's close and almost too close to make us uncomfortable, right, Charles?
A little bit.
He's like a brother. He and I go way back, and same with Rush and me, frankly. Yeah. And so we know when people are coming after one or all of us. We know what's going on out there. There's an effort underway to silence us. There's an effort underway to divert us right in the middle of this monumental battle over the future of this nation. And there's going to be a government effort to shut us down through the FCC and this guy, Mark Lloyd. They've laid out their whole blueprint, and we're going to fight them every step of the way, as will all the other great talk show hosts who are out there, and there are many.
We've got about a minute left of what has been a very...
Feels like it's been 5 hours. Go right ahead.
Entertaining conversation with you, even though you've taken it upon yourself to bludgeon my friends.
Including your friends? Go ahead. What?
Including Glenn Beck. I've got to talk to him here in a couple of days. How do I explain this?
Why did I attack? Did I attack Glenn Beck? You asked me a question. You asked me to compare the two, so I did.
Well, I don't think that's necessary to start snapping at me, a person battling cancer, do you?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Have we been around this tree 3,000 or 4,000 times?
Yes, we have.
Yes, easily.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
What's wrong with reforming health care?
Nothing's wrong with reforming it. The way you reform it is to liberate it from the states that are putting things on there like breast enhancements and penile implants and all other things that you and I have to pay for when lobbyists get in there.
By the way, these two procedures I support.
Well, at least the breast implants ought to be heavily subsidized, don't you think?
Well, yes.
But anyway, so and I favor, of course, expanding health savings accounts for catastrophic illness, like we have 401ks and so forth, and if so, we want portability. There's so many things you can do, but you don't destroy the healthcare system in this nation, the greatest healthcare system on the face of the earth, under some proposed experiment. An experiment that has failed in Britain, has failed in Canada. The president doesn't even make sense when he talks about including more people, increasing benefits, but cutting costs. That can't work. The same government that's driven Medicare into the toilet, and Medicaid and Social Security, we're supposed to rely on them. Is our healthcare system perfect? Nobody would say it's perfect. Is anything perfect? No. But you don't destroy it to cover 12 million more people. We can cover 12 million more people. But the president, every time he speaks, is illogical on this subject. And the problem is most of the journalists are either too dumb to understand it or too much in the tank to challenge them. We're out playing golf with them all the time.
We've got about 30 seconds left. Could you get just a little nuts for us? So, like your rant deals, maybe even about Lupica if you want.
No, I'm doing fine. I'm perfectly fine. Lupica doesn't realize how discredited he is. He doesn't realize that Lupica doesn't realize how irrelevant he is. I just made him famous again after a 20-year valley in his popularity. I just introduced the country to one of the biggest a-holes in America.
Oh, my God. No. Well, on that note.
And one of the whitest, biggest a-holes in America.
Thanks, Mark. Mark Levin, the Imus in the morning program, 12 till the hour. Oh, my God.